Hey, good morning, y'all. Today I got a pretty dirty car here today. I wanted to see how good of a job I could do on taking the exterior from what it is now. And we're gonna do a loop around after and see how good it looks after I finish cleaning it. I think this one will be a pretty awesome change from start to finish here. It's a little bit old. I think this car has like 300,000 miles on it. About 5 o'clock right now, so the sun's pretty low, so that should be perfect. All right, so I got a pretty good array of things I'm gonna be trying here. So I've got, of course, the tire cleaner, because those tires look like they haven't been cleaned in forever. Got an iron decon, so I'm just gonna see how purple this car turns after I try this out. We're gonna try out this headlight restoration on it. I have used it before and it does work, but I don't think it'll be able to get those things looking perfect. I've got P&S bead maker, so once I'm finished with the car, I'll throw this onto the paint and give it a little bit extra shine to it. And then I've also got a trim restore, so this will be good for foot landings. So like these are super faded. I'm hoping the trim restore can kind of help with that. One last thing I got is a clay bar. So I'm gonna be using little chunks of this to gradually across the paint, get all that little bits of decontaminant, and just really help with the paint protectant there. Depending on how the front turns out, there's a bunch of like dirt and bugs there. If the wash doesn't take care of that, I'm also gonna use some tar and bug remover. So like always, I got you guys on that eagle eye view, the best view in the house, how good we can get this thing looking. I haven't tried some of these things yet, so it's a little exciting. Guys, I cannot stress the importance of wearing boots while you're doing this stuff. Like, you wear something that's gonna be slippery on the bottom of your feet, you're probably gonna fall over. You know, I literally just raised the price of doing like Suburbans and minivans. After doing this, I don't feel nearly as bad. I finally used up all my Meguiar's wash and wax, and I'm using that Car Pro Reset. I really love that stuff. Like, that's probably my favorite car wash. It like slicks up the paint real well. Just got a bunch of soap in my mouth. The grind don't stop though. I think I spilled some Kool-Aid on this or something. What is that? So guys, good news, we were able to dry that whole thing with one drying towel. So it is confirmed, the liquidator can get one whole car. All right, for the next portion, we're gonna be doing the wheels since the car's still a little wet. After I'm gonna get the headlights, and then we'll do all the paint stuff and see how this thing's looking. It's already looking cleaner. I don't know if it'll look like new. You know, it's got a lot of rust and like paint wear, just from, you know, being in the sun. Just got brake buster again. We're gonna see how well we can clean these up. These are pretty dirty wheels, so I'm only gonna do one pass on these, just because I don't wanna be doing these all day. So you can already see it's already collecting some dirt. There's, you know, it's turning brown. Usually it turns like more grayish, so this is a little more brown. So based on the color of the wheel cleaner, you can tell where this person lives. So this is more brown, so I'm saying they're gonna live in Colorado probably. Super dusty over there. I'm gonna be honest, those don't look any different. All right, next thing we wanna hit is the headlights, see what we can do there. So like before, I just got the plastics and then I got a nice foam applicator. And it looks exactly the same, wow. That's nuts. This thing's old, you need some real firepower on this. So I'm thinking there might be a little bit of a difference, but I don't think there's really much, so let me know what you guys think. Okay guys, so now we're gonna do the iron decon. I just got this in the multi-pro, so it's just gonna be nice and easy to spray all over the paint. So you can do this before or after the clay bar treatment. I don't think it matters too much, to be honest. So I'm just doing it before, just because that's the way I like it. Really want to pull out any iron that's in the paint. I honestly should have done this before I dried the car. It's really crucial that you do this when it's not too sunny, because you want to let this sit for a while to really pull out any iron that's in there. So there's some purpling. When it turns purple, that means it's reacting with whatever's in the paint or on the wheels. You know, that's a success. So let me show you guys a little bit. You can see there's some purpling there. I did just clean the wheels, so that might be why there's not much of a reaction going on. But there's some purpling on the paint. Like you can see a little bit like there-ish, if it'll focus. It's not too purple, so yeah, I think I've let it sit for a while now. It's been like 7 minutes since the first side I applied it, so give it a rinse down. We're gonna have to dry this thing one more time, it looks like, so. You wanna make sure when you're rinsing this stuff down that you're being very thorough with it, because you don't want like leftover bubbles like you see, like right there. I have some. Just because it can eat away at the paint. Not gonna lie, the wheels actually look a lot better after that iron decon. Really depending on what kind of wheels they are and where they're used, you're gonna get different types of dirt on them. I guess these ones had more iron. So it's got this like nice little blue clay bar here. You don't really need a big piece to start, so just grabbing like a piece like that big. And you also want some rinseless wash. So you can do this when the car is wet or when it's not. You just need to make sure that, you know, it doesn't dry. And you know, obviously water spot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to basically spray it onto the car. Glass or paint, doesn't matter. And just rub this around until it feels pretty smooth. Once it feels smooth, that means you've gotten all the decontaminants out. And then, you know, if you want to take it to the next step, you could begin polishing. Maybe doing like a silicone-based spray on it, just, you know, water repelling type stuff. So you don't need a whole lot of the lubricant. I just use a rinseless wash, but you could also use the iron decon if you wanted. You could use like anything, just something to help the clay work over the surface. So yeah, like you can see, I just wiped that whole thing down. I got like 2 particulates, and it was because I hit the edge of the window there. So now that I got the window done, I'm just gonna take a nice fat microfiber and just rinse it down, or rub it down. Make sure it's nice and dry. All right, so I'm gonna basically do the same process for the door part here. So once again, just spraying it down a little bit. You don't wanna work in too big of an area. If you want, you could wear gloves for this. I don't really feel like doing that though, because it's just rinseless wash. I mean, other than the little bit that is picking up near the edge, there's like nothing going on, which is good. That means the paint is clear of contaminants for the most part. Realistically, the place you're gonna need to clay the most is gonna be on the front of the vehicle. You know, where there's been a lot of bugs and whatever else. This bottom area's got a lot of dirt to it, actually. Picking up a ton. So that was like a really dirty area, closer to the bottom of the car, of course. Right where the wheels are spinning up, probably onto the car, so the rest of the paint feels like freaking butter. I got this piece of clay here now. I'm all done and used up with it. Don't need it anymore, so I'm just gonna go ahead and toss it. So it is starting to get dark out, so I'm trying to work my way here. I got this paint protectant spray. Just gonna throw it on and see how it looks after. The one thing we still have to do is the trim down there, but it's still wet, so I don't wanna do it yet. So you just spray it on, then you wipe it in. Ooh, it smells delicious. Let me get some here. This stuff is fine on glass. So it's the next day. It's a little later than I would have liked it to be. It's like 5 right now, so it's kind of late. Where does the time go, I tell you? So I got the trim restore here. It's a ceramic one, so it should last a little longer. And you can see that these are, you know, pretty beaten up just from being in the sun so much. I'm gonna wipe them off real quick because I let this sit overnight and it's outside. So just got some leaves and just random stuff that falls off the trees and whatever else. So I'm just gonna hit this with the trim restore. And then we also got the wheels. So when I'm using these type of like finishing products like tire gel and stuff, I like to use a microfiber towel that's a little lighter, just because, like, you know, it's a little more throwawayable if it does get damaged or anything like that. I'm just gonna get a good layer on this trim on the other side as well, and then we'll see overall how the car looks. Got some kind of like pollen on it just from sitting outside last night, but other than that, it's looking really good. So let's get to it. So you guys want to shake it up before you use it, just because the chemicals inside can separate. And just same thing, foam applicator pad, just wiping it into the steps here, trying to get all the nooks and crannies and whatever else. Not sure if necessarily more is better with trim restore, but I don't see how it would negatively affect anything. I think it'd only really be bad if you work it too much into the trim. So I'm gonna let this sit for a few, and then just gonna be wiping it up with that towel we started out with. So you can see that, you know, I've let this sit for maybe like 10 minutes, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. And now I'm just gonna take a nice little skimpy microfiber, just wipe up any of the excess. You're just kind of buffering it out if you think about it. Nice, clean, new looking stairway. Let's get a whole look there. Dang, fits right in now. Now that we've let the tire sit for a day, we're just gonna get the tire gel on there, slick it up. I love this stuff, it smells like grapes. Just putting on the foam applicator like always. This is a big wheel, so we gotta put a little more on than normal. Look at how it's revitalizing the rubber. Looks so much darker already. Just putting it on there right away. So with this tire gel, there's two things you wanna do. You basically just apply it, let it sit about 10 minutes, and then you just wipe it up. And if you want it to be shinier, you can do a second coat after. I think one coat, I like the appearance of it better. You don't want to overwork it. You just kind of want to let the gel even itself out instead of you trying to do it yourself. You just want to make sure you apply it everywhere. All right, so you can see, looking pretty good. Gonna get a few minutes now, about like 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do all the other 4 wheels and then mop them one by one. Okay, so it's been a few minutes on the wheels. You can see it's kind of drying up a little bit, which is good. That's exactly what we want. So now I'm just gonna take the time to wipe it off, and it should give it a nice smooth, you know, sort of matte, dark black look to it. So let's give it a shot, see how it looks. You can see, you know, it looks really good. There's parts where it might look a little different. That's just because of like maybe, you know, hitting the curb or something like that. But overall, it's a big improvement. Nice dark, you know, on the interior, and maybe a little bit of wear on this exterior zone here. But I'm satisfied with it. So I'm gonna do the other wheels and then call it a day. This was my first time doing like all that iron decon clay barring kind of stuff, and I think I learned a lot. We'll do a quick before and after. Let me know if you guys think I did a good job or not. I think I did actually pretty good. I wish I could have done this all in one day, but it was getting super dark yesterday. Obviously this thing isn't gonna look like new, but for how old it is, I think we did a pretty good job. So there's a bunch of dust on it, but that can't really be helped. Where water like seeped out after like a long time. But other than that, pretty dang sharp. The only spot that's not really that great is the headlights, I'd say. Just because I used some cheap restaurant, so. See you guys later. Hope you enjoyed.